We've coverage of the Dunhill Cup Golf from St Andrews in half an hour's time, but first, fashion takes to the screen once again.
This week, making the right impression at interviews. Some tips on dressing for the job. Autumn-Winter 1992 from Paul Costello. And More Than a Woman, a Ladies' Man tells all.
With almost 300,000 people out of work in Ireland today, any jobs available are hotly contested. So it's more important than ever to make a good impression at the interview. It's amazing how much we say about ourselves through what we wear and how we present ourselves, but are we transmitting the right messages?
Whether you're an apprentice in a training centre or having scoured the job columns, you're attracted to a more traditional career in the bank or the media. The all-important day will soon arrive when you must present yourself for an interview. Employers in whatever business, whether it's dealing with the public or behind the scenes for that matter, expect a lot. And your entire future could depend on the impression you make at the interview. We took a number of young people who will soon be looking for jobs to see how they would dress themselves for that crucial interview, and 18-year-old Kim Louth was first in the hot seat.
Now, Kim, you've applied for the job as receptionist in our marketing department.
That's right.
So, Kim, you did a one-year secretarial course in Mount Temple. Tell me what you did on the course.
I did typing, word processing, receptionist skills, communications and accountancy.
Kim, would you like to do my
Kim
job?
played safe by wearing a conservative grey wool suit. At the moment, she has a part-time job in the Hotel Conrad and would eventually like to become an air hostess. Maurice Pratt brought Kim on a guided tour of a Quinsworth branch.
I thought Kim's outfit was just fine. I thought it was understated. I thought it was just right. It didn't over or under attract me. I just noted that she looked well, she looked smart. She looked just like I would like somebody to look if they were working here.
Just how important is it to wear the correct thing for an interview?
Well, I think what's important is that you wear something which doesn't allow the interviewer to concentrate his or her mind on what you're wearing and take them away from what's important, which is finding out whether the applicant is suitable for the job you have in mind. Therefore, as far as I'm concerned, they need to wear something that's pleasant on the eye and doesn't distract you. They don't wear, for instance, jewellery that is moving around so that you're looking at them but you're being distracted by jewellery and maybe starts to irritate you, and you don't therefore let the interview go in the way in which you want it to go.
Catherine Ambrose has also completed a secretarial course at Mount Temple and works with a campus company in Trinity College.
Would you like to take a seat there? Now, Catherine, you've applied for the job as receptionist in our marketing department. I thought Catherine's outfit was very nice. It was green, interesting waistcoat, which I did notice as soon as she walked in. So perhaps I did notice more about her dress than I did about Kim's. Again, I thought she looked well. I thought she looked suitable for the interview. And again, I was putting myself in the position of saying to myself, well, would that dress be suitable if Catherine, was working here? And it would have been fine. So she passed well on that.
Just how important is presentation in your business?
Absolutely vital. I couldn't state highly enough how important presentation is. I mean, we are a people business. We're serving over 1 million customers a week. We have 6,500 employees. And at any point in time, we're only as good as our worst employee, if you like. So presentation is vital. Personality is important, that they play their role as a member of the team.
The old reliables, such as the banks, have, like many businesses, moved with the times in becoming high-tech, but still hold with traditional values when it comes to their mode of dress. Barbara Gilligan is personnel manager for the Bank of Ireland head office in Baggot Street in Dublin, and she met our candidate Paul Hennigan, who is 18 years of age and completed his leaving certificate in June of this year at St Conleth's College.
Paul, I see from your CV you went to St Conleth's.
I did, yeah.
Would you like to tell me a little bit about the school?
It's a very small school. It's just up in Clyde Road, up in Boats Bridge. It's about 200 people.
Paul's ultimate ambition is to enter the competitive world of high finance.
Barbara, can I interrupt you there? Now, let's assume the interview is over. Barbara, what did you think of Paul's presentation for the interview?
I think Paul presented himself quite well, actually, from his shoes to his white shirt and obviously a new tie and jacket. He looks quite well.
Just how important is the correct dress for an interview?
Extremely important, Barbara. It's the first time that, for instance, Paul would have an opportunity to create an impression in person. Most industries now would find they're not interviewing for a large range of jobs, so there are only a small number of jobs available. And the interview is a critical part of the selection process.
Have you any reservations?
Yes, there are just two areas that I think Paul could have improved on, and certainly perhaps for this job. The first that I would comment on is, by and large, bankers do not wear gel in their hair. And the second one is that I know Paul has taken a considerable amount of time and thought in putting his outfit together, but the colour of his trousers, again, is not something which you would find normally in banking.
What are the absolute no-nos when dressing for interviews?
I think the interview depends on the job, and obviously in banking, in finance generally, or indeed maybe for insurance companies. For men, a suit is what is worn. So if Paul were to come in jeans or a bomber jacket or a sweatshirt or sneakers, it just would not go down well at all.
In contrast to the seemingly rigid dress code of banking, the advertising business has a much more relaxed set of rules. By the very nature of the work involved, employees are creative, and this is reflected in what they wear. Brenda Dermody completed her course at the National College of Art and Design last June and hopes to follow a career in graphic design. Ian Fox meets a lot of young people who want to get involved in the advertising business.
When I got older, I thought, well, I should go to art college, do it seriously.
Whole time, yes, exactly. And how did you get into college then?
Well, you build up a portfolio of work. It takes about a year, and then you apply to various colleges.
There's very few places in college nowadays, isn't there?
Sorry, Ian, can I butt in here? Now, let's pretend the interview is taking place. Now, can I ask you what you think of Brenda's outfit?
I think it's very good. She's appreciated the fact that we are a business and she's going to have to deal with clients and so on in the years ahead when she becomes a famous art director, and therefore she should have a good dress sense, and it does help a lot. She looks professional, and she's the kind of thinking person we would expect from that kind of clothing that would be right for our business.
Now, what do you think of the low-cut blouse and the short skirt?
Very charming. I mean, let's be honest. She's a pretty young lady, therefore she should make sure that she communicates that fact. I know in the advertising business we do have a fairly wide view of how one should dress, and I think certainly it's a very trendy kind of business for dressing. So she's well within the expected styles of advertising, certainly. Yeah.
Brenda, how much thought did you put to putting this outfit together?
Well, quite a bit actually. I thought it was important to wear something which was professional looking, and the short black skirt is part of every businesswoman's wardrobe, I think, at this stage.
Brenda also brought along the sort of outfit that she would like to wear at an